Good afternoon. My name is Manuel Gomez. I serve as Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs here at the University of California, Irvine. And for our beautiful evening, I would like to have you join me in welcoming His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, onto the stage. Please join me in welcoming him. It is my honor and my pleasure to be able to welcome you on behalf of Chancellor Cicerone and our campus, and to thank each and every one of you for joining us this afternoon for this incredible forum with His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. I also know that you had to negotiate an incredible traffic jam that occurred outside, security clearances and the rest. So we will be having a few more guests joining us as they're coming through that process. This event represents the culmination of an entire day of exchanges and episodes of mutual enlightenment around the interrelated themes of ethics and leadership. From our morning session here held at the Bren, which involved more than 5,000 young students, leaders from junior high, high school, and universities in the surrounding area, to our luncheon, hosting more than 125 business and academic leaders from across the United States, Europe, and South America. And now, to this extraordinary, beautiful public forum. The Dalai Lama has been so gracious enough with us to help us begin what we conceive of as a long-term initiative focused on mindfulness and compassionate leadership. Whether it be to discuss the role of ethics in the classroom or ways to foster more mutually beneficial practices in the global economy, this day has been dedicated to a shared recognition that if we truly want peace, then we must all participate actively in envisioning and creating peace. Before introducing His Holiness, I want to take a few moments to thank all of the individuals and organizations involved in the success of this day. This forum would not have been possible without the combined vision of many individuals and organizations. The sheer diversity of viewpoints and perspectives has given this event both a depth and a relevance that is reflected in its timeliness and its breadth of participation. From business leaders to educational leaders to community leaders to youthful leaders, the partners in this process have strengthened the reciprocal relationships among all of our local interests. There are just too many individuals to thank and name personally, but I would like to acknowledge the work of a few organizations, and you, the individuals, know who you are, as well as your individual names will appear at the close of our forum on these screens. But I'd like to acknowledge the work of the Dalai Lama Foundation based in San Francisco. I'd like to also thank the Spirit in Business Incorporated. I'd like to also thank our partner educational institutions, including Cal State University at Fullerton, Chapman University, Soka University, and the Orange County Department of Education, as well as the Orange County Human Relations Commission and the Bowers Museum of Cultural Arts in Santa Ana, California. I must also acknowledge the wonderful and supportive staff of the Office of Tibet in New York and the work of all of our members of our coordinating committee. All of their names, once again, will appear in the screens at the close of this forum. For everyone who contributed to this event, we thank you for all of your contributions to this collaborative venture to further the goal of ethical and compassionate leadership at home and across the globe. And we especially want to thank all of you, each and every one of you who are here in the audience today and have come this afternoon to hear His Holiness the Dalai Lama share his thoughts on ethical self-awareness and personal transformation. For those of us who work in education, this is a particularly welcome subject as we struggle to remain an open and inclusive community, inviting differences of opinion within a shared dedication to intellectual freedom and a search for common truth. We see our mission as not only one of research and teaching, but also of leadership development for students who will one day become our society's next generation of educators, doctors, artists, business leaders, scientists, and all other manner of civic leaders. Among our highest goals is to foster self-awareness in our students, along with the means. He's making jokes now. I've gone too long. Share a wealth of ethical, and I want to say this, and compassionate approaches to our most basic human challenges. Please join me once again in anticipating the wonderful sharing of wisdom from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Thank you very much.
Dear brothers and sisters, I'm extremely happy to be here with you. Occasion to interact. I think mainly through question and answer. Sometimes through question and answer, I also learn some new things or new ideas. So helpful, so useful. Then perhaps some may get some new, ideas. So I'm very happy. And I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor and all the concerned people who's due to their effort, this meeting now take place. So this light too strong. So this very useful, very helpful.
Please don't think I'm advertising University of California, Irvine.
So, the topic, of course, I consider very important. in our life, because that is, ethics is the most important factor for happy life or stable life. But then my English, the vocabulary not adequate, and in fact getting older, my English also getting older. So my English needs some stick to it. Because I did
Crutches.
so suppose he's my English sort of crutch
Walking stick, yeah.
or walking stick. That's it. So the point, although everyone have the potential to develop inner strength with the right kind of attitude, then your life be a good one, meaningful, purposeful. Without inner strength, your life, whenever you face some problems, even a small problem, because your insight weak, so then difficult to face, result much more frustration, and eventually more problems happen. So the inner strength is very, very crucial. But at the same time, sometimes over self-confidence and some kind of blind inner strength may lead disasters. So inner strength with the right kind of attitude combined, I think then their life becoming more meaningful. Everyone have that potential, but the potential alone may not be sort of effective. So we must, strengthen these things. So that means transformation. But transformation through awareness. Transformation not through outside sort of, force. Now here you see the ethical, transformation according to the ethical sort of thing. Only possible through some kind of volunteer attitude. No one can force to develop these ethical things. So they use human intelligence, analyze the situation and long-term and short-term the consequences. That's the way to develop clear sort of realization. This thing, that thing is something good. And with that awareness, eventually develop conviction. And conviction then bring real transformation. With conviction, certain things make familiarize, right? And through that way, real transformation will take place. So transformation through awareness. Another word, something like training of mind. Now, ethical thing mainly related with emotion or mental attitude. They're like external thing. There are poisons, there are medicines or some good things for our health, for our life. Some are good, some are bad. So first important thing is analyze what is good for us, what is bad. Then those negative thing or harmful thing, try to get rid of. Right. The positive thing deliberately increase. So similarly, in inner world, in our mind, or another word, I think particularly one part of our mind is emotion. Now, there are a lot of varieties. So some emotion are very harmful, even health.
Even for health.
Even for health. Some emotion very positive. For example, hatred, ill feeling, not only disturb your peace of mind, your calm mind, but eventually very bad for our health. Then affectionate sort of emotion, right? Sense of caring, sense of concern, or compassion, very strong feeling, with strong feeling. These are another kind of emotion. But these emotions very good for us, because these emotions firstly bring self-confidence or some kind of inner strength. So that automatically reduces fear. And also the compassionate attitude opens our inner door. And through that way, we can easily communicate with other fellow human beings. Not only human beings, even to animals. So as a result, your surrounding, more positive, more friendly attitude. If you remain with full hatred, then impossible to create affectionate atmosphere. Even animal, if you remain so angry, or always shouting, always sort of rough sort of attitude, and even animal also run away. Therefore, although we want friend, sometimes we human beings find among fellow human beings difficult to share,
Difficult to communicate.
share one's own sort of difficulties. But as a human being, as a living being, they need to I don't know, to someone who sort of share our feeling. So sometimes we find animal more sort of close friend. Among ourselves, among human being, always fight. But one dog, or one cat, or one bird, we do like that. So even better among our fellow human being, who you can sort of really share problems or happiness or things like that. So that only possible if you open your own heart. Even sometimes the other may not respond properly, but that doesn't matter. As far as one's own side, create the possibility of the atmosphere. So therefore, compassionate attitude, I think, really brings a positive atmosphere. So these emotions are useful, helpful, and as a result of physical also, I think the elements of the body then works properly, normally. Result, your health can sustain. Even sleep, no need a sleeping pill, no need tranquilizer, isn't it? So these emotions are very positive, and some emotions are very destructive. So make distinction. With awareness of that kind of, reality, then accordingly we should develop certain sort of, approach. These positive emotion deliberately try to increase. We can train even animal. Their intelligence, compare human intelligence, much limited. But within that limitation, they can train. And we have this marvelous intelligence, power of analyzation, right? A power of thinking, and also powerful memory. Therefore, with help of intelligence, in conviction, we can develop, we can strengthen, we can increase this positive emotion. And then negative emotion, certainly part of our life, part of our mind, part of our life. But still, once we realize some of these harmful emotions are bad and harmful, then that kind of recognition itself makes differences. Usually, we simply do not bother these different emotions. We consider these are part of, natural sort of experiences. If we really believe that, if we really sort of live at the natural level, then education is result of our effort, not by nature. A, B, C, D, these are man's creation. Then years study, then new knowledge come, not by nature, but by effort. So awareness or knowledge through effort can increase. Similarly, emotion also can increase some of these positive emotion through sort of effort, through training. So these, I feel, these positive emotion, these in a way, I feel realistic. These positive sort of emotion are, their attitude is more suit with reality. The negative emotion, I think we can say unrealistic. I think one reason the sense of concern, sense of caring, other need or appreciate, sense of concern, sense of caring. If you show your genuine sense of caring, sense of concern, this gives them some relief, some pleasant experience. That brings closer friendship, harmony. We are a social animal. Friendship, harmony is by nature very important. One single person, no matter how strong or powerful, cannot survive lonely. That's a social animal. The indication of the social animal, right? So, anger, fighting, violence, disunite, destroy friendship. So the affectionate attitude goes according to reality. And also, I think another way to look, the negative emotion, such as hatred, essentially very narrow-minded, very narrow.
Very narrow focus.
Very narrow focus. Anger, need one particular target. That target, I think, essentially, although there may be some basis, but when about development, but anger about development, then our emotion or our mind much exaggerated. So the mental projection, right? So actually not reality. So create false reality. Then becomes something independent, absolute target. Then want to hit on it. So that's unrealistic. And another thing, for example, so-called enemy not happen instantly, right?
Instantly.
Or single cause, but there are many causes and conditions. But when we develop anger, we do not see all other factors, all other causes and conditions, but we just pick up one target. So So again, become clear. The hatred is unrealistic. The things make too simple, so simple, right? 그래서 공부 라인도 전에 그 미유 치라고 지그 잼 미유 치라고 지는 것도가 미유 치라고 뒤 당문에 전에 요즘 두무 속에 되는 용대 버지리 디파샤체 디나는 내가 직투 인디갈이야 아니 롱락도가
One of the interesting things about these extreme emotions, the destructive ones such as anger or hatred, is that they have a tendency to really objectify whatever its focus is and really create a kind of a single-pointed target. So, for example, in reality, when an incident occurs, that incident may have many different factors underlying it. But when we react strongly and negatively towards that, we totally ignore the complexity of the situation, but rather choose only one target and direct all our intensity of emotion against it. And that way of reacting is in fact contrary to the actual reality.
So when anger about to develop, a person then try to look that same object but more holistic way, then anger find a little difficult. Anger cannot find absolute target when you look holistic. So I believe that these positive emotion, or we call ethical, these things are something realistic, something useful, with reasons. The negative emotions without reason, simply
negative emotions on the whole tend to be impulsive. They arise primarily out of certain habituation.
So I think we can say, I think, those emotion or strong feeling which solid reasons or validated reasons, and these, generally speaking, positive, constructive. Those emotion, no solid basis, but much exaggerated in your own imagination. These are negative emotion. So, what the proper way transformation of our attitude is analyze, knowing the fact or the reality, and long-term, short-term consequences. And through that way, you get deeper awareness, or some of these emotions are bad, harmful. So, I will, kada nebe rangshin induzane di tangdo melebachi. Da pembe rangshin di dunzen tane tangdo leyachi.
Once you have that kind of clear conviction about the destructive nature of many of these negative emotions, then its immediate impact would be on your part to never to willingly embrace them. There will be an ability to keep a distance. And on the other hand, those emotions which you recognize to be constructive and positive, there will be a willingness on your part to further develop them and enhance them.
So this also we call motivation, ethical attitude. And that, and what say they, kanda tiniji kita kulung 계셔. 애는 안 줘다 차와. 지금 미 차와 릭담을 먹자 용구리디 디디 꿀룬 대원의 키니치메이나. 애는 패지 positive action 쳐도.
So once you have that kind of basic outlook on these different range of emotions, and then you, on the basis of cultivating the positive emotions within yourself, and then whatever actions that you may engage in, so long as they are motivated by these underlying constructive emotions, these we can call ethical or ethically sound actions.
Like different human activities or human actions, also in the field of economy, environment, politics, or religion, education, law, science, so on. I think key factor whether these different activities becoming constructive or destructive much depend on prime motivation. Even religious teaching, motivated by negative emotion, sometimes become destructive. Other hand, warfare, of course, very bad, but still, even warfare carried with moral principle, compassionate attitude. That means even war humanized is much less destruction. Warfare too much mechanized without human sort of as a feeling, then more dangerous. So therefore, the everyday hour action, I think they very much of that because of that. 간당 안 하는 미 자주 강다 강이네. 자오 근로를 알려다 근로 투대지. 그 내가 좀 그러셔. 그래서 내 인도 moral ethics 해야 돼. feel 가스칼도 돼야지.
Given that the role of human motivation is so crucial in all the various human activities, whether it be science, politics, religion, and so on, what this indicates to my mind is that it indicates how important the role of ethics or morality is in all the various human activities.
So when we say moral ethics should not feel this is religious matter. No, as I mentioned earlier, I think moral ethics, one level, more realistic approach towards our life, towards world, towards every problem. I think that's ethics, I feel. Then of course, another level, ethics, involve religious faith. That also, if we look closely, the various different religious traditions, all talks about love, compassion, forgiveness, self-discipline, contentment, these things. These are the important human human values. So, different religious tradition, I mean the main purpose of religious tradition simply strengthening these basic human values. That utilize different concept of God, concept of karma, so on. So different philosophy, but all main purpose of these different philosophy or different way of approach is to strengthen, to increase these basic human values. So naturally, all different religious traditions have potential to help to to increase or to sustain these basic human values. So therefore, perhaps I think some relations here. We, those people who believe faith or who accept any kind of religious tradition, then I think the first human value at first way, and then religious faith. Religious faith support these human values. So sometimes we opposite religious faith more important than human value. Then sometimes religion also become another source of human suffering. So therefore, I think it's important to realize all the religious sort of traditions, their main aim is to help humanity, to serve humanity. How? Not just sort of change faith, no, but increase these basic human values. Then I think genuine religious harmony also can develop on that kind of attitude, or that kind of awareness. So that is about the self-awareness and personal transformation. Now question and answer. So if you have some sort of different questions, after sort of my presentation, if you have some doubt, then please write. Please, if you have some questions, then write down. Then someone can collect. So any sort of your doubt or argument or disagreement or criticism, most welcome. That I think a proper way to test whether my topic really have profound foundation or not. If my topic, my belief, profound foundation, then further question, further answer. If my belief is something superficial, then more questions, then my answer automatically become vague like that. Good, thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sharon Stone. Thank you very much. I'm here to help you thank His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, for being here with us today. It's such an extraordinary thing that we all have the extreme good luck to be in the presence of Your Holiness today. Last night I was thinking about what it must be like to be you, Your Holiness. Not that I would know, but I'm an actor, I think about these things. And to have that kind of destiny, Because it's not like you're, hey, I'm the 12th Dalai Lama, and I'm staying in my country of Tibet and having that karma. It's, hey, I'm the 14th Dalai Lama, and I'm exiled from my country, and I have that karma. And as His Holiness told you, that's a big deal. I'm exiled, I'm 40 years traveling around the world, and accepting that karma, which says we all have our destiny. Even His Holiness has his destiny. What is of the most extraordinary value is with how much integrity we meet our destiny. Even His Holiness has to take his greatest challenge and meet it with his greatest destiny, his greatest integrity. No matter what your greatest sadness may be, your greatest challenge, your greatest hardship, your destiny may be set, it may not be easy, but it's up to you to say, how much integrity do I have today? Do I have the integrity to say, I will be compassionate, I will be loving? I have had the great good fortune of having His Holiness' path meet mine. When I was your age, I had many challenges, but we didn't have computers. And not that I know how to turn on one now, because I'd be lying. I don't even know how to get the VCR to stop going 12, 12, 12, because I don't. And certainly, His Holiness didn't come to my school, but he's at my school now. And my school is the school of compassion. My school is the school of love. Someone once told me the preparation for change can take forever, but change takes a second. I ask you that today is that second that change happens. Because today, your karma is sitting here. Today, the choice of integrity of His Holiness has met your moment of change, your possibility that your opportunity of integrity, no matter what your destiny may have been, no matter how difficult that choice may be, no matter how much of a hard time you may be getting, how difficult your relationship may be with your parents, your friends, your teacher, with yourself, that you have an opportunity here that's immense. That this being, this human, this very human holy person, who has a huge, huge, courageous life to live, like the president is what, 4 years? If we can possibly do that, not 8. Okay, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to be political, but you have choices, is what I'm saying. You have choices to make. You have choices of integrity. You have choices of looking in and saying, I get to pick who I am, I get to pick what I want, I get to manifest my destiny in the face of difficulty. Make choices, make change. Be your best destiny. You can get on the web. You can go to Dalai Lama Foundation. You can thank Dr. Manuel Gomez, who took his, go ahead, thank him. Because he was a kid in school who said, I want to be a different person. I want to change the world. And he changed all of your worlds. You can be just like that. You can change people's worlds. You can be anything you want to be. Anything. Just like His Holiness did, just like Dr. Gomez did. Any one of you in here can make this moment of change, that place in your road of your destiny, that opportunity to take this karmic explosion to your future, make this page in the book of your life somewhere you're going to always want to leave a bookmark of pride. Thank you.
Yeah. Two times. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stop drama. Stop drama.